So I want to talk to you about how to keep your home Wi-Fi safe in 7 simple steps. And it's really important to understand that we are speaking about safety, of course, but we are speaking about identity theft protection also. So here are the warnings I want you to pay attention to. The thing is, when you think about your home Wi-Fi, you are speaking about small vulnerabilities, but you are speaking about big consequences. Okay, I mean, small vulnerabilities in your home Wi-Fi network could cause big problems. And so what you want to do is you want to secure your Wi-Fi connection real fast, and you want to really do it yourself, or you want to work with third parties to make sure that you are solidifying things not only on the inflow of data, but also on the outflow. Because that's important, because when it comes to securing your Wi-Fi, you have to think about encrypting the inflow, but also outflow of data, so that your personal information, but also your family's information is really secure. Okay. Now, how much do you rely on your home Wi-Fi? That's really important element. I mean, if you're like most people, you use it for online banking, that's for sure, right? For paying your credit card, your insurance, or your insurance policy, for reserving hotel rooms, for chatting with friends and family, or and for watching movies. Okay, so that's a lot of activity when you think about it. Because the bottom line here is that you have the possibility to get things done real fast, especially when it comes to scalability. You want to make sure that what's working today is actually working 1 year from now, or 2 years from now, or 10 years from now. And so in many cases, everything from laptops and phones to security systems, thermostats, and air conditioners are all connected nowadays to a home Wi-Fi. When it really, so that's a lot of interconnectedness. Okay, I mean, this is the benefit, that's for sure. But when you are not safeguarding the process real fast and real tight, your home Wi-Fi network can be actually a playground for scammers, hackers, and other cyber criminals. Okay, a small vulnerability in your home Wi-Fi network can give a criminal access to almost all the devices that connect to that network, and hackers and scammers might be able to, for instance, to access your online bank accounts or credit card portals. Can you imagine? That's crazy. But hey, listen, it is actually possible. They might be able to spy on those emails you sent to your doctor. They might even flood your devices with malware and spyware, and also ransomware. So that's really important to really think about things from the get-go. So here are the steps I want you to really pay attention to. First of all, what you want to do is, if you want to keep your home Wi-Fi safe, you want to change the default name of your home Wi-Fi. I mean, because the whole thing is, when you actually set up your home Wi-Fi a few months, a few weeks, or a few years ago, there was a default name that your home Wi-Fi had, and that default name is pretty vulnerable. So you want to really customize. You want to have a bespoke name, okay, from the get-go, a name that only you can actually identify, only a name that only you can resonate with, okay. And so first, you want to change the SSID. So this is the service set identifier or name of your home Wi-Fi network. And the thing is that many manufacturers give all their wireless routers a default SSID, and in most cases, it is actually the company's name. And when a computer searches for and displays the wireless networks nearby, it will list every network that publicly broadcasts its SSID. And the thing is, you do not want to appear at all. You do not want to be visible at all, right? So part of your strategy here is to actually change the name. And sometimes you can be creative when it comes to changing the name. Actually, like I said, you want to change the default name to something very, very personal, something that is recognizable by you, something that is also not really attracting the attention, because that's what you want, right? So the thing is that when you have a default name for your SSID, this gives, believe it or not, a hacker a better chance of breaking into your network, because they know that this is the company that has that actually gave you the SSID. Okay, so it's really better to change the network's SSID to something that does not disclose any personal information, thereby throwing hackers off their mission, because they're looking for loopholes. So if you have a strategy whereby you just confusing them a little bit, not a little bit, confusing them big time, this can really help you in terms of security for your family, but also for your private data, and also the data of your relatives, including young children in your household. If you are trying to keep your home Wi-Fi safe this year, you want to make your wireless network password unique and strong. I mean, this is the kind of advice that you hear all the time, but if you don't take it seriously, you are going to lose big time. Because the whole thing is that if you go with a password that's very that's guessable, a password that's not complicated, a password that, see, the whole thing about password is that you have to actually make sure the password is complicated, but also the password is hard to guess, but also easy to for you to remember, right? That's really important from a scalability point of view. You want to have this ability to get things done pretty fast. Okay, so most wireless routers come preset with a default password, and this default password is kind of easy to guess by hackers, especially if they know the router manufacturer. Because the whole thing is that router manufacturers have some kind of distinct code, a distinct sort of mix up of, I mean, distinct mixtures of numbers and letters and what have you. So when selecting a good password for your wireless network, make sure it contains at least 20 characters, including numbers, letters, and symbols. And the thing is that, again, remember that you gotta have you can use the password manager to administer your passwords. So the more complicated your password, the more difficult it is for hackers to break into your network. And that's what you want. You want to have this idea where you are solidifying not only your password, but you are also making sure that you have the right strategy in place to confuse hackers. And this should be actually your number one priority. Your number one priority is to either confuse the hacker, to throw them off kilter, to actually have a security protocol that's so hard to break that they actually just they will just stop thinking about messing up with you. And that's what you want. Okay, and so you want to have at least 20 characters. The longer the better, the longer the better. But the thing of the trick is that if it's long, that's good, but you have to be able to remember that. Always have a combo of numbers, letters, and symbols. Okay, this will actually help you in the long run, especially when it comes to solidifying the security protocol of your Wi-Fi system. And I mean, you want to have you want your network Wi-Fi to be pretty airtight from the get-go. So the third thing you want to do this year, if you want to keep your home Wi-Fi safe, you want to really think about encryption. And encryption just means that you are enabling network encryption across the board. And the cool thing is that you are able to do this without, you don't have to have a PhD in coding or data security to actually implement that. Now, one thing for sure, almost all wireless routers come with an encryption feature, that's for sure. But for most router though, it is actually turned off by default. And what you want to do is you want to activate that sort of encryption model. Okay, turning on your wireless router's encryption setting can help you secure your network big time, big time. Make sure you're turning on immediately after your broadband provider installs the router. It's one of those things where they're not going to do it for you unless you requested it. And it's one of those things also where you are actually you are instilling an actual layer of let's say security for your data, for your family's data, for everybody in your household. Okay, and of the many types of encryption available, the most recent and effective is the WPA2. So remember that. We're going to put this on the screen. So when you have a router, you want to look for those four symbols. WPA2. That really will solidify the encryption model for your not the encryption, the encryption model for your network. One thing I want to say is that sometimes when you are in a big, if you are in a residential area with a lot of WPA2 sort of routers, it's important to really enable network encryption so you can differentiate yourself. And because sometimes what happens here is that the hackers, they're looking for the least vulnerable sort of targets, and they will go after those. Okay, and what you want to do is when you actually activate the encryption, you are solidifying like right away your network, and your Wi-Fi will be one of the safest in the area. And again, I want to insist on the fact that when you live in a large community area, having this encryption will help you a lot come out of the pack, if you will. Okay, and that's really important, not only in the short run but also in the long run. Another way to actually keep your home Wi-Fi safe this year is to actually turn off network name broadcasting. And this is kind of similar to actually changing the default name on your home Wi-Fi. And the thing is that when manufacturers actually provide the home Wi-Fi, the router, they want to make sure things are as streamlined as possible. But for you as an end-to-end customer, you do not want to have standardized things, because the more standardized the process is, your router is, the worse it is for you, because you are a pretty vulnerable target. Okay, so when using a wireless router at home, you want to really disable network name broadcasting to the general public. And when nearby users try to find a Wi-Fi network, their device will show a list of nearby networks from which they can choose, right? And what happens here is that when you disable name broadcasting, your network won't show up, keeping your Wi-Fi connection invisible to those who don't know how to look for it. Okay, and this is really good because it really disarms at a very basic level, like a pretty basic threats from let's say wannabe hackers. Okay, and this feature is useful for businesses, libraries, hotels, and restaurants that want to offer wireless internet access to their customers, but it's not necessary for a private wireless network, including your home Wi-Fi network. Okay, and this is an important element to think about, especially in the long run. Let's say if you are in an area, you just got in the area, and you want to really look at how you can solidify your home Wi-Fi, how you can keep it a safe haven. That's really important. So turn off network name broadcasting. So when you actually think about that, those pieces of advice I'm giving you into this conversation are pretty straightforward. Nothing really complicated. You don't need to have someone from the internet company to come and really do it for you. You don't need to have a specialist come and do it for you. You can do this yourself at home, and you can actually make your home Wi-Fi safe right off the bat. And again, those solutions might probably take 5-10 minutes tops to actually implement, but they will last for a lot of years. So that's really good to think about it that way. If you want to actually keep your home Wi-Fi safe this year, you want to keep your router's software up to date, because you have to understand, when you think about your home Wi-Fi, the whole thing is not just about the hardware that you are actually having it in your home Wi-Fi, the router. No, you also have the software. Software actually plays everything. Hardware without software is nothing. Okay, so in that sense, software becomes more important for you, especially if you have been running a router, if you have been running on a hardware on a router that's kind of outdated. In other words, you've been with the same internet company for many years now, and they haven't actually come and installed a new equipment for you. Because see, the whole thing is that companies don't have to do this automatically. Okay, in some places, the company will come, and the internet company will come and really do the change right away. They will actually start rolling out new equipment as it becomes available. But if you are with a company that doesn't do it, you're gonna have to do it yourself. And if you can't change the gear, if you can't change the hardware, at least change the software. And the software is kind of easy, because the software, you just need to tap into the cloud protocol of the company, and actually download the latest version of the software. And that's really easy to do as well. Okay, so sometimes a router's firmware, like any other software, contains flaws that can become major vulnerabilities unless they are quickly fixed by the manufacturers of firmware releases. So always install the latest software available for your router, and download the latest security patches immediately. The security patches are kind of critical. You do not want to wait a little further to implement whatever security protocols they have. New security protocols to actually make it their way, to make it like into your operations real fast. Okay, and it's one of those things where, and this is way more important if you have let's say minors in your house. If you have minors, if you have little children, if you have infants in your house, you want to really protect that. Especially there are some parents who monitor their babies' safety with via the Bluetooth protocols. That really is important, because or through an app, by the way, through an app. So you want to really secure things front, from either session front and back. If you want to keep your home Wi-Fi safe this year, you want to make sure you have a good firewall. I mean, firewall are pretty critical, and a small firewall actually is good because it really can go a lot further in terms of solidifying your access. And not a small firewall, a smart firewall is actually designed to protect computers from malware, viruses, ransomware, and other harmful intrusions. And wireless routers generally contain built-in firewalls, but are sometimes shipped with this firewalls turned off. Okay, so you want to really turn them on. So check that your wireless router's firewall is turned on. In case your router doesn't have such a firewall, make sure that you install a good firewall solution on your system to guard against malicious access attempts on your wireless network. And luckily, a lot of companies, a lot of internet service providers, ISPs, nowadays will come with that solution. They have it natively in their system, so they will come and have somebody come and really get it done for you. So that's really good. And the last thing I want you to really pay attention to this year is to actually use VPNs to access your networks. And using VPNs is really cool because it allows you to really mask your digital identity. So a virtual private network, or a VPN, is actually a group of computers or networks that work together over the internet. And individuals can use VPNs like Norton Secure VPN as a method to secure and encrypt their communications. And this is kind of cool because again, it allows you to have an extra layer of privacy. So what happens here is that when you connect to a VPN client is launched on your computer. And when you log in with your credentials, your computer exchanges keys with another server. And once both computers have verified each other as authentic, all your internet communication is encrypted and hidden from outside prying. So this is kind of cool, especially if you are concerned about your family's privacy, your children's privacy, your wife, your husband privacy. Those are really important. And what's even better with VPN is that most of all, you want to check what devices connect to your home network and make sure that they have reliable security software like Norton Security installed against viruses and spyware. Especially if you are going to do this over the long run, you want to really be in a situation where you are buttressing, you are solidifying, you are actually you are having a safer layer of security, especially across the board. So that's an important element to think about, especially in the long run. So in conclusion to this conversation, I just spoke to you about how to keep your home Wi-Fi safe. I give you the warnings, the steps, and the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.